Hello, my name is Oshara Pichardo, College Counselor at Edison High School. In this presentation, I will be outlining the differences between private colleges and public colleges. I will be focusing on the areas of funding and tuition, size and degree offerings, demographics, return on investment, and finally providing you with a list of resources for any personal research on this topic. Public colleges versus private colleges. In this presentation, we will be outlining the differences between private colleges and public colleges. We will be focusing on the areas of funding and tuition, size and degree offerings, demographics, return on investment, and finally providing you with a list of resources for any personal research on this topic. When discussing the differences between public and private colleges, the major difference lies in how they are funded. To understand this disparity, we must first recognize that the two types of institutions are funded by distinct means. This affects students because funding is tied to tuition prices. Most public universities and colleges were founded by state governments, and today state governments pay for most of the cost of operating public universities. This influx of public money is why tuition is lower at a public university. The real cost of attendance is subsidized, thus money raised from tuition doesn't necessarily need to cover all of a public college's expenses, such as paying faculty. Since funding comes directly from state taxes, residents who decide to remain in-state for college are able to attend at a lower cost. Of course, out-of-state students are still most welcome to apply and attend. However, their tuition bill will be higher. Even with this disparity in pricing for in-state and out-of-state students, the sticker price for out-of-state tuition is often still lower than private school. Meanwhile, private colleges do not receive state government funding, and the same tuition, excluding financial aid and scholarships, apply for everyone, whether they are in-state or out-of-state. Being that private colleges don't receive funds from the state, they rely heavily on tuition and private contributions. Therefore, you'll quickly discover that the sticker price for a private college is usually a lot higher than a public school. However, it's also important to recognize that you cannot go by sticker price alone. While the cost of a private college might seem excessive to many, thanks to large endowments and private donations, these schools often offer generous financial aid packages to students who demonstrate high academic abilities and/or financial need. Depending on the financial aid package received, your out-of-pocket expenses at a private school might be equal to or lower than that at a state school. So if you think that you might qualify for significant financial aid, don't discount private colleges and universities on cost alone. Another difference between private and public colleges is their size and the number of degrees they typically offer. On average, public institutions tend to be a lot larger than private ones. It's routine to find state schools with an undergraduate population hovering over 20,000 students. For example, Ohio State University is home to 42,000 undergraduate students. Public schools are known for large classes, so students shouldn't be surprised to find a lecture hall filled with 200 or more undergraduate students. Public schools also may provide a much wider selection when it comes to course offerings, available majors, and degrees conferred. In a single large public university, undergraduates can be enrolled in academic programs ranging from traditional liberal arts to highly specialized technical fields. On the other hand, private schools tend to be much smaller than public universities and may have only a few thousand students. Private schools are also known for having small class sizes and easy access to professors. One of the biggest selling points for private schools is the one-on-one attention that students receive and the ability to be more than just a number. Private colleges offer a smaller range of majors but often have a particular academic focus. Some private colleges may emphasize the liberal arts, such as Drew University, while others focus on engineering and computer science, for example, Stevens Institute of Technology. There are definitely exceptions. You can find small public institutions that provide plenty of personal attention and private colleges with a myriad of research opportunities. Demographics. Public schools and private schools may differ when it comes to demographics as well. Public schools attract a large number of in-state residents since tuition costs are lower for residents. This is why you may see more local students at a state school. Private schools, on the other hand, are more likely to find more geographic diversity due to their in-state and out-of-state tuition being at the same cost. However, the smaller a student population, and being that private schools are usually smaller, the more homogeneous it might feel in other ways, such as racial, ethnic, or socioeconomic diversity. Finally, what's the return on investment? College graduates across the board, regardless of their alma mater, whether private school or public school, fare better in the job world. A 4-year college graduate earns about $52,200 annually on average, compared to $30,400 for a high school graduate. Ultimately, public versus private isn't about better or worse. When deciding on where to apply or attend, it should really come down to whether or not a school meets your academic, financial, and social needs. A lot of what you get out of college depends on what you put into it, and that goes for the largest state school or the smallest liberal arts college. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Below are a list of resources for any personal research on this topic. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. If you have any questions on this topic or the college application process, feel free to visit the Edison High School counseling website.